Hello, it is January the 4th already, 2019. I know it seems like this year's already scooting by really fast. Um, this morning I read John chapter 14, and personally I love the book of John. I love the book of John. When I read the book of John, John is one of the Gospels, and so it has a lot of Christ's words recorded from when he was on earth and during his ministry. But for some reason, in the book of John, he just seems to, I don't know, bear more of himself in John's versions, in John's recordings. I don't know if that makes any sense. But when I read John as opposed to Matthew, Luke, and Mark, I don't know. I kind of see more of Jesus. I kind of into his personality a little more, and I just love this book. This chapters 14 and 15 are both just amazing chapters, and so I was really glad I got to read chapter 14 today. And as great as the whole chapter is, and there's 31 verses, this morning just one verse stuck out to me, and it's so important. Everything that we as believers believe and trust in hinges on the words that Jesus says in this one verse. And so I'm just going to talk about this one verse because it's important. It's, you really can't get anything else about Jesus or anything until you understand this one simple truth. Okay? So we're looking at John chapter 14, and we're going to look at verse 6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Now, if you've ever been in church more than one or two times, you've probably heard this verse a lot. And, yeah, okay. And we as believers, if you've already accepted Christ your Savior, sometimes that verse is for the unbeliever. But I'm going to challenge you that it's not just for the unbeliever. Jesus didn't say, I am one of the ways, one of the truths, one of the lives. I'm one of the ways to the Father. No, he didn't say I'm a way. No, he said I am the way, which means the only way. I am the truth, the only truth. I am the life, the only life. No man, not one single person, comes into the Father but by me, except through me. Now, again, you're like, yes, Amy, we know. Jesus is the only way we can get to heaven. So what does that have to do with me as a believer? I already believe this. I already know this. Excuse me. How many times do we forget this in our daily walk with Christ? When something comes up, when we wake up late in the morning, or we get to work and everything's just crazy, abnormal. And, and you're like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with this today, blah, blah, blah. Or you get a call that a loved one has been in an accident, is in the hospital, has passed away, whatever it may be. How many times does this verse jump into our heads when we get bad news? Hardly ever, right? It's not the first thing that pops into my head, I'll tell you that. And this is, I'm glad the Lord showed this to me today, because, even though we've already accepted Christ as our Savior, it doesn't change anything. He is still the way through our issues, whatever they are, even as Christians. He's still the truth that we can come back to. And when we can't, we can't figure out what to do, Lord, do I do this? Do I do that? He's the truth. He's got the answers. He's still the life. When we feel dead inside, and the enemy's just been beating up on us and beating up on us and beating up on us, and we just feel like, oh my goodness, I feel like I can't breathe spiritually. I can't, I can't get ahead. I'm trying to serve the Lord, and He is still our life. The Lord showed that to me this morning, and I was like, wow. This verse is not just for the unbeliever. It's for anyone. It's for the believer and the non-believer the same. Now, it's different meanings. If you've never accepted Christ as your Savior, please understand that there is no other way. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you could do within your own power. Nothing you could say, nothing you could do, no matter how many rituals or prayers you say, how many times you go to confession, how many times you talk to somebody here on earth. There's nothing you can do by yourself to get to heaven. Okay? There is no amount of truth here on earth that's, no man, no religious leader has ever been able, no human religious leader has ever been able to give you truth that will send you to heaven. And no one has ever laid down their life for you in order for you to get to heaven except for Jesus Christ. So this verse does have, it hinges on your very spiritual destination after you die. If you've never received Christ, He is the only way, the only truth, and the only life. It says, no man come to the Father but by me. And these are Jesus' actual words. So if you've never accepted Christ, you do have to realize that you're a sinner and you can't do it on your own. You have to realize that He came and He died and He shed His blood for you on the cross. And He was buried and He rose again, and 3 days later, forever conquering death and the grave. Okay? And you have to realize that when you die, your soul will go to either heaven or hell. There is no question about it. And, once you realize that, this is a gift, He's paid the sin debt. There's there's nothing you can do. You don't have to do anything but accept it. It's like me sitting here handing you, here, this is for you. This is for you. All you have to do is reach out and take it. And this is exactly what Jesus did for us on the cross. So, realize you're a sinner and that you can't do it on your own. Realize that Christ died for you to pay that debt for you. Okay? And then just talk to God. Tell Him, Lord, I'm a sinner. I can't do this by myself. I realize that you sent your Son to die for me. And thank you for that. And please, forgive me of my sins. Come into my heart. Make me a new creature. Just pray pray whatever you feel. And, if you believe that, because that is the most important decision you will ever make in your life, because it affects your life after you die. Your soul will live on. So that's very important. That's what it means. It's actual salvation to the non-believer. To the believer, people, just remember, the same God that saved you is the same God that will carry you through each and every moment of your life if you allow Him to. He's the one that can show you the way through whatever each day. He's the one that has the truth in questioning times, in times of uncertainty. And He's the one that can breathe the life back into your spiritual life. Back, He can, He can give you the joy and blah, blah, blah. And again, once you're once you have received Christ as your Savior, you're not perfect. There will be times when you sin. And once again, no man comes into the Father but by Jesus. That's your way back. All you got to do is talk to Him, say, Lord, I'm sorry. Please forgive me of this and show me the way back to, lead me once again. So, I'm still amazed that the Lord showed me this today. Every day I ask Him, because He's the one that, He asked me to do these videos. I didn't just start doing them on my own. Because I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I mean, I don't mind speaking, but I'm not the most eloquent speaker. And so every day when He shows me what to say, it's awesome, because I'm like, wow, I've never seen that before. So it's amazing, and I hope that at least one other person out there is getting this the way I'm getting it, because it's amazing. God is so good to us. And so remember that John 14:6 is not just for the unbeliever, but it's for the believer as well. I hope you were encouraged by this today, because I certainly am. And I hope that you'll look at Jesus in a different light, take on Him more. Remember, He's there all the time, not just to save you. He doesn't save you and then, okay, you're on your own. No, He's there every step of the way. All you got to do is let Him. Thank you. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I hope you have a blessed day, and see you tomorrow.